What are the types of speed? We have two types, regular or uniform speed, irregular or non-uniform speed. So the regular or uniform speed is the speed by which the object covers the same distance or equal distance at equal times. So in 1 second, he covered 20 minutes. In another 1 second, he covered another 20 minutes. In another 1 second, he covered 20 minutes, and so on. So the object or the car in this case covered equal distance at equal amount of time. But the irregular or the non-uniform speed, it's the speed by which the object moves when it covers unequal distance at unequal period of time. So in 1 second he might cover 5 meters, in another 1 second he might cover 30 meters, and so on. So different or unequal distance at unequal amount of time. What is meant by an object moves at a regular speed of 50 km per hour? Regular speed means that the object covers the equal distance at equal amount of time. So we say that this object covers equal distance, which is 50 km at equal amount of time, which is 1 hour. So this means that the object covers a distance of 50 km each 1 hour. Why? Most of moving cars cannot move inside crowded towns all the time by uniform speed, because when you go by car in street, you have traffic, you have crowd, people, so the cars cannot move in the crowded or in city by uniform speed due to traffic, because the speed of the car change according to the condition of the road and traffic. Calculate the distance covered by a car which moves at regular speed of 70 km per hour in 1 hour and 2 hours. First, in 1 hour, so speed equal distance over time. So the distance equal speed multiply the time. So the distance equal 70 kilometer half an hour. So the distance will equal 35 kilometers. In 2 hours, again distance equal speed multiply time. So the speed is 70 kilometers per hour multiply 2 hours equal 140 kilometers. A body moves in a straight line at a regular speed. So regular speed means equal distances at equal period of time. Calculate the speed of the body. So we can take any distance divided by the time. So 20 meter per 10 per 5 per 10 second equal 2 meter per second. And what is the value of x and y? So first 5 seconds. So each 5 seconds he cut or covered 10 meters. So 10 meter, 20 meter, 30 meters. So x will equal 30. And the equal amount of time, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. So y will equal 25. From the following figure, does the person move at a regular speed or irregular speed? In the first second, he got 1 meter. In 2 seconds, so 1 second again, he got 2 meters. Then he got 1 meter. Then he got 3 meters. Then, so this person covers unequal distance at equal or unequal time, so that person moves with irregular speed because he covers unequal distance in equal times. What is the thing that moves at a constant speed in space? There is only one thing, which is light. And from that we can calculate the time needed for the sunlight to reach Earth. We know that light speed is 300,000 kilometers per second, and the distance between the sun and Earth is 149 million kilometers. So the speed equals distance over time, and we need to calculate the time. So time equal distance over speed. The distance is 149 million, mean times 10 to the power 6, and over 300,000 mean 3 times 10 to the power of 5 equal 497 second. And to convert from second to minute, we divide over 60, so that equal 8 minutes and 17 seconds. It's difficult to determine the amount of irregular speed of an object because the object moving by irregular speed covered different distance at different time, so the speed changed from time to time. So to calculate the speed of a moving object with irregular speed, we use a term called average speed, which is the total distance covered by a moving object divided by the total amount of time taken to cover this distance. So to calculate the average speed, we take the total distance over the total time. What is meant by the average speed of a moving car is 40 kilometers. Average speed means total distance over total time. So that means that the total distance covered by the car is 40 kilometers in a total time of 1 hour. So this means that total distance is 40 kilometers covered by the car through a total period of time 1 hour. A racer covered 100 meters in a straight line in 10 seconds. Then he returned walking and he took 80 seconds. So calculate the average speed during running. So he ran 100 meters in 10 seconds. So speed equal distance over time equal 100 meters over 10 seconds equal 10 meters per second. So the runner runs 100 meters by speed of 10 meters per second. While returning, he returned walking and he took 80 seconds. So speed equal distance over time equal the same distance, 100 meters in 80 seconds. So he walked by a speed of 1.25 meters per second. So the average speed during the whole trip, meaning total distance over total time, total distance over total time, total distance 200 meters. He goes 100 meters and back again. So 200 meters in total time, 10 seconds plus 80 seconds mean 90 seconds equal 2.2 meters per second. A runner covered the first 100 meters of a race at 10 seconds, and the last 300 meters he took 40 seconds. Find which part of the race did there have the highest average speed. So the first 100 meter, the speed in the first 100 meter, 100 over 10 equal 10 meter per second. And the last 300 meter, so 300 meter over 40 seconds, for 7.5 meter per second. So the runner run with the largest or highest speed in the last 300 meters. Then calculate the average speed during the whole trip. So the average speed meaning total distance over total time. So total distance 400 meter over 50 second equal 8 meter per second. Calculate the average speed of an object that covers 84 meter in 12 seconds, then 56 meter in 8 seconds, then 28 meter through 4 seconds. Again, total distance over total time, 84 plus 56 plus 28 divided by 12 plus 8 plus 4 seconds equal 7 meter per second. Calculate the regular speed of an object moves in a straight line, covers 168 meter through 24 seconds. So distance over time 168 over 24 equal 7 meter per second. So from those two examples, we know that if the object moves by a regular speed, its speed at any moment will equal the average speed. So when a body moves at a regular speed, its average speed equal regular speed. The last type of speed is relative speed, which is the speed of a moving object relative to an observer, static or moving. And if the observer is at rest, the relative speed will equal the real or actual speed of an object. If the observer and the car moving in the same direction, so the relative speed will equal the real speed minus the observer speed. And the relative speed will be less than the real speed. If the observer and the car moving in different direction, so the relative speed will equal the real speed plus the observer speed. And in this case, the relative speed will be more than the real speed. So the relative speed is how you feel the car moving. So if you static, you will feel that the car moving with its actual speed. But if you move in a car next to a moving car, you would feel that the next car moving slowly. And if you're moving in the different direction, you would feel that the car moving with more speed than it actually does. So when the moving car seems stable means speed equal 0. So when would you feel that the next car to you stable or don't move? That would be when you and the car are moving in the same direction with the same speed. When the observer moves in the same direction at the same speed of the moving. When the observer moves in the same direction at the same speed of the moving car. So imagine you go with a car with 50 kilometer per hour, and car next to you move by 50 kilometer per hour. So the relative speed of the car will be 50 minus 50 will equal 0. So you would feel that the car next to you won't move, don't move it. When does the relative speed of a moving object equal double its real speed? That will happen when you and the car are moving in different direction but with the same speed. When the observer moves in the opposite direction at the same speed of the moving object. So you move in that direction with 50 kilometer, the car next to you in different direction by 50 kilometer, so the relative speed will equal 100 kilometer per hour, double its real value. What is meant by the relative speed of a moving car is 90 kilometer per hour. The relative speed is the speed of an object relative to an observer moving or static. So the relative speed of a moving car equal 90 kilometer per hour. That means that the car speed relative to an observer moving or static is 90 kilometer per hour. This means that the speed of a car relative to an observer equals 90 kilometer per hour. What is meant by the relative speed of an object equal its real speed? The only case that relative speed equal the real speed is when the observer is static or don't move. This means that the observer is at rest. What is meant by the relative speed of a moving car equals 70 km per hour to an observer in the opposite direction at a speed of 20 km? This means that the real speed of a car equals 50 km. So the observer and the car moving in opposite direction. And the speed of the observer is 20. So what is the actual speed of the car, which make the relative speed equal 70? Because they're moving in different direction. So we add the two speeds. That means that the car opposite to you will going by 50 km per hour. As shown in the following figure, two cars move in the same direction. Car A moves at a speed of 30 km. Car B moves by 80 km. And car C moves by 40 km. Calculate the relative speed of car B relative to an observer, static. So the static observer will see the car moving by its actual speed, which be 80 km per hour. And in car A, so car A and B moving in the same direction. So relative speed of car B will equal 80 km minus 30 km. So the observer in car A would see the car B moving by 50 km per hour. And because the observer in car C moving in different direction of car B, so the relative speed of car B would equal the speed of car B plus the speed of car C. So 80 plus 40. So the observer in car C would see the car B moving by 120 km per hour. Calculate the actual speed of the car whose relative speed is 130 km relative to an observer moving in the same direction at a speed 50 km per hour. So the car and the observer moving in the same direction. So same direction mean relative speed equal the car speed minus the observer. So relative speed equal 130 equal car speed unknown minus 50 kilometer. So x would equal 130 minus 50 equal 80 kilometer per hour.